What's up everybody, it's Royce from Pedal Metal. Welcome to my channel. Tonight's video is going to be detailing up Matchbox's new Poop King. And we'll go ahead here and take a look at it in its stock state first, and we'll get right into it. Artwork, as usual, is really cool on the new Matchboxes. Alright, we'll get started here. For whatever reason, my camera did not like the white background. I have it in auto, and of course it made everything look jaundiced and yellowed, and I don't know what the deal was with it. I need a new camera, and anyway, just finding the money to get the camera is a whole nother issue. Alright, so we got the Poop King here, and which I kind of was curious about whether these popped off or not, the little Johns. Porta Johns, which is pretty cool. That's why it says about choking hazard on the front of the pack here. That's why. Well, first we'll go ahead and I'm gonna start detailing up the toilets, just because I think it'll be pretty fun. Well, I'm finding out this blue plastic is very difficult to paint over top. So what I'll have to probably do is let that dry and then put one more coat on top of that. But in the meantime, we could work on the truck. Like, there's a little Poop King logo. You can really see it there on camera in the back for whatever reason. Pretty cool little detail. I would assume this is fictional, this vehicle, so I can really struggle on here to see exactly where the headlights begin and end on this. I'm looking at the box, and it looks like the whole, I should say the card, not the box, but it looks like the whole front there is headlight. Apologize if I was off camera there. I think I was. Just have to be very vigilant not to get my hands in any of this paint, because a lot of this I'm doing is silver that as I'm working my way around, I just don't want to get my hands in it, which I think I did bump one of the mirrors there earlier. Alright, so I better stop. We'll let this dry. Off camera here, I didn't realize I didn't have the camera running. I used a Tamiya semi-gloss black and did the tire, which came out, it actually matches perfectly to the other tires, which looks pretty decent. And I did the straps on the two tanks. I'm not sure if I have that on video or not. I don't think I do. And I went in and kind of did a little bit better job around that top reservoir cap. I don't really like how they have the sides here. I think I'm going to do opposite of what you see here before I get too far on detailing this. I'm thinking of stripping off this black and then just have that white and then go negative and go black on the inside, because what that's supposed to be, it's supposed to be like you're seeing through it. I don't know, it looks kind of dumb. I think, I don't know, it's kind of doesn't really make any sense to me. So I think that looks a lot better. I think the other way looked kind of weird to my eyes anyway, and in person I thought it looked really strange. I'll do this little, looks like, appears to be a toolbox. That'll give it some nice coloring there. I've had this brush here forever. I don't even know what kind this was, but it served me well. It's a little busted up, but if you don't trust your skills, you could always slide a piece of paper down between the tank and the toolbox there if you don't trust yourself. Can here beside the toolbox here, what that's supposed to be there, I'm not sure. I haven't figured that out quite yet, what that's supposed to be there. So I could probably make that whatever color I wanted, or just leave it white. Yeah, yellow looks okay. Probably just get one coat on it and then go back and maybe hit it with another coat, and probably could do the license plate. Alright, next thing I want to do is I want to drill 2 holes, one for a hanger to hang this hose, and then this will be the suction hose, and that'll go to the top of the reservoir. So I have a little pin vise, 1mm drill bit. Start there first and may have to move up. All right, I have a little piece here somewhere, I don't know where it is, of brass wire. I'm not sure what size this is. You can kind of see it right there against the white cab. They already pre-bent a little hook for the hose. So what I need to do though now is make a little hole for the hanger. Meantime, what we could do is we'll set this aside. I want that hanger there to dry, and I'll show you what I was working on off camera earlier. Was I opened up another one of these. I have 2 Poop Kings. I opened up another just so I could get an idea of what I wanted. I could not get the white paint to stick to this blue plastic, and I even sanded them down and ended up, I think it was acrylic on top on first, and then I went with the Tamiya white lacquer on top, and it seems to have worked out pretty well, or vice versa. I forget what I did there. Anywho, I kind of want this look here. This is kind of what I'm going for, kind of a washed dirty look there, kind of like that, but I want to use this one. I just pretty much made my own wash with some black paint and some thinner. This is mainly just so it doesn't look so new. And for visual interest. There's 6 windows on the back here, vents. What I'll probably do is end up going back again and hit them again and clean them up. A lot of the stuff like that I'll do off camera. Alright, we'll let that dry. I think that's looking pretty realistic. I did go in off camera with a black paint marker in between, and I will get the vent stacks at some point. And I will probably also do the second set. I kind of wish they would have had this set up that you could put 4 of them in the back. I don't know why they didn't do that, but whatever. Just the way they did it, I guess, because of choking hazards, they just had one big piece. All right, let's get in there. I'm not really sure where I left off. I had to go and pick my daughter up and get a few things, run a few errands. I'm not sure where I left off, but it's getting there. Kind of went in, detailed the metal bar it runs around the door, and worked on that a little bit, I think off camera. I found on Google porta potties that look pretty much exactly like this one on there, so I just went off of that for my reference. That's kind of cool. I put a little bit of super glue on the hanger there, and to get that to stay. I'm trying to think of what else. I'm thinking about doing the mud flaps in white, just because the black, it just looks like it's just too much going on black in the back here. And I think I'm going to add some metal scrapes on the Tommy lift here on the back. You know, give it a little bit of visual interest and won't look so new. It looks a little bit better. Add the mud flaps so it doesn't look all you know, just I don't know, I didn't really like how it was, everything was just black plastic in the back here. It just looked really kind of looks strange. It's hard to tell what's going on here with this. Alright, I found some brass tubing in my stash of stuff here. So I think that'll be good for the end of the suction hose for the tube. And it does fit perfectly over the scrap wire. So what I'm thinking is just have that like that, and that'll be perfect for this suction tube end. So what I'm gonna have to do though is figure out how, maybe how I'm gonna paint it. I should say. I want to do it white so it'll look like white PVC. So I'm thinking what we could do here. I have to get my finger oils off of it though, but paint that white. And I think that'll be perfect. Alright, so what I'm going to do is let that dry. And probably have to use this little 1mm drill bit and kind of ream out the end there a little bit. But I think that'll work nicely. I just have to let that find a place here to park it so I can let it dry. I was kind of wondering if I should do the Grille chrome just for something different. I'm gonna just see what it looks like. If it looks stupid, then I'll probably bail on that. Well, I'm not sure I like that. I might have to fix that up. Well, I'll let that dry, and I'll probably do like a wash, like inside the grill. Not too crazy about that, but that's all right. Little piece of tubing dried. It worked pretty well, just dipping it in the paint. That way I don't really have any brush strokes or anything on it. I didn't really feel like digging my airbrush out. Looks pretty good. Alright, so what I was thinking for the tube holder, I have some 2.9mm brass tubing I found in my stash. So I already took some SEM trim, automotive trim black paint. I just sprayed. That way I don't have to deal with brushing it or anything. But what I need to do is figure out what I want to do here with this. Do I want to have it laying like on the side, like horizontally, like a fire truck, or some of the reference photos I'd found, they were more like a holster, and that's what I'm thinking of, just doing something like that where it's a holster on the side. Gotta cut some off. So let that dry, and I gotta figure out how I want to mount that though. I'm not entirely sure yet. I have some ideas here. I found some foil scrap from, I don't even know what this was for, these dots, but I never threw it out. Apparently I'm a pack rat, and I had this in a box of stuff to use for things like this. But I'm going to use some of this material instead of the foil tape I have and try this on the mirrors. It looks really, really good. It's like a Mylar or something. I'm not sure exactly what this is, but it looks pretty good. And before some of you write and say, well, I would have used a chrome pen. Well, the chrome pen, the problem with doing that is, for one, it's not that great, let's be honest. And it leaves little lines everywhere. It's not, and it dulls over time. They're not as great as what that you think they are. Yeah, maybe that wasn't too bad. Well, the backing came off. Now let's just see how this. There we go. Yeah, there's one side done. I'll do the other side off camera, but it looks pretty cool. Little mirror. I'll take my t-shirt here and wipe off the, it's got like finger oils on the mirror, and then I'll have to touch up some of the silver paint, but I think that looks pretty good. Okay, I just mounted the little tiny holster tube on the side there. That was kind of nerve-wracking because I didn't really want to screw that up because I just painting the tube and everything. I just anyway, that was kind of nerve-wracking, but I think this is dry. Takes a while for that Gorilla Glue to dry. Hoping it's dry. Yeah, fit right in. Just ignore the background noises, of course. But that's what I wanted right there. And so we can have it in there, and I think I'm going to take some shots of it out in the sunlight. It's nice outside, and get some pictures of it. But you know what? There's a little bit more. You know what's coming. We got to do some skids here, some slicks, some streaks, whatever you want to call it. This is Tamiya acrylic flat brown XF10, and you know where this is going to go. Obviously it's going to go downhill quick. Just kidding, hopefully not. Just want to do a couple little weathering here. That didn't even make any sense there. A couple little weathering. Alright, I think we're wrapping this sucker up. Pretty happy with it. I will get some photographs of it outside, and we'll take a look at it here on the turntable. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Sometimes I miss stuff and then I end up going back afterwards. I did go in here with a little bit of amber on those running lights on the roof. Now it pretty much matches the orange almost on the deco on the side. Here's what I wanted to show you guys. I didn't see this before. It actually says Pu König, which is German for king, I believe, on the passenger side, but on the driver's side it says Poop King in English. So that's pretty interesting. I hadn't noticed that before. Maybe a little. So I'll get some shots of it, either on the turntable or outside or both. You guys have to let me know what you think. I know I haven't done one of these videos in a while, so I was a little rusty, but I had fun with this. It's just not your typical sports car, even though I do have the next one is a sports car coming up. And anyway, I thought that turned out pretty cool. I like it. You guys have to let me know what you think. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. If you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. It's free. You can't beat free. Hit the bell for notifications and all that good stuff. If you like this, be sure to give me a thumbs up, like, share, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys later. All right. Thanks again. Bye now.